Good morning and welcome to Facebook Live for a brand new Throwback Thursday, I'm going to call it. So I am going to be looking at old and new products. So I'm going to combine them. So bear with me a moment. Just trying to get my laptop set up, sorry. Just so that I can make sure I can see comments and I can hear what's going on. I hope you can hear me okay. Hi Tracy, hi Maxine, hi Christine, hi Pat, hi Catherine, hi Elaine. Oh, thank you for joining me, this is lovely. I was just tidying up yesterday in my cabin and I thought I was going through old inspiration and thought there's just such beautiful cards here and lots of the product is still available. So I thought, hopefully, I'm not going to promise weekly, but I'm hoping weekly I will do a video where I will mix the old with the new. So there'll be things that maybe some people haven't seen, a nice way to jog your memory that you've got that product, or maybe you need to get it out again and use it. So I just thought it would be a really nice thing maybe to look at a little bit of old stuff with some new stuff as well. So morning Sam as well, I'm trying to read your message. Just having my oh, excellent, have fun. I'm sure you will, definitely. And hi Sandy. Oh, good for you. I wish I was good like that. Hi Katie. Hi Lynn. Excellent. Hi Joan. Oh, brilliant Christine, that's great. Hi Val. Yeah, I just thought it was a really nice thing. Like there's so many lovely older products that, you know, don't necessarily go to think of to use. So I just thought it'd be a nice thing to do. So I'm going to flip the camera. First up is I'm going to use my Uppercase alphabet set. So let me flip the camera and then I can show you the products and everything and some sample cards. And then I'm going to get creative with it as well. So bear with. Let's do that. Okay. So let's make sure I've got a good position. Okay, so that's a that looks okay to me. Right, so except for I've got that wonky bit of my desk at the bottom which I don't like. Let me see. I never know which way to turn the camera though. And I still turned it probably the wrong way. I'm going to leave it. Right, leave well alone. Okay, so we have, this is my Uppercase alphabet set. This is one of the original alphabet sets that I first bought out when I first started, basically. So I wanted an alphabet set that was good for male and female, a really nice size as well. So one that you could use for cards, but you could also use on home decor projects as well. So that's why I came up with this font. And to me, it's a very generic font. It's not going to age. It will do both male and female beautifully. It will also be good for any age group as well. Hi Bev, lovely that you could join us. And yeah, you're right, you're a newbie to Julie Hickey Designs in Australia. So yeah, this is perfect to go back to some of the older things as well. And I know, you know, I'm guilty of it as well. I have all the products and I don't use them often enough, like going back and just mixing up everything. So yeah. Hi Susan, hi Gail, hi Ruth. Okay, so it's a really nice size, it's great on cards, and there is just so much you can do with it. So I wanted to show you my decorated alphabet as well. So just to give you a few pointers of different things that you can do to it. With the A, I've done like an ombre effect, but with my ink. So I've inked the bottom and then just blended it out, which I think just looks really lovely. And imagine having a name going across a card, or a sentiment even. And that's the beauty of having an alphabet set, is that if you've got that one card you want to do a congratulations card, or an anniversary, a silver anniversary card, or a ruby wedding anniversary, instead of having to have a stamp, you could actually die cut the wording and have your own sentiment. And then if it's a ruby wedding, then obviously if it would be lovely in red. If it was a golden wedding, you could do gold, silver, etc. So just different ideas and different things to use your alphabet set for. They're ideal to actually decorate with little stamps that you may have. This is, a great way, all those little extra flowers and things that we pop in the stamp sets, this is perfect to use on your die cuts. Then I've got one that I've covered in glitter glue. So this is all sparkly afterwards. So that's a really nice thing to do to your letters as well, is to sparkle them up. Don't forget about your pattern papers. Obviously little pattern papers is perfect for things like that. I've got one here out of glitter foam, so they will die cut foam as well. Absolutely beauty. I'm trying to think if I've got any. Hang on, I'm sure I had some in here. We go. So this is white, like funky foam, but it's glittery, and I use my alcohol inks on it, so I've made it really pretty. But I could now die cut this with my letters and add a name or a sentiment to a card, and they're going to be dimensional as well as but the dies cut this perfectly, so I'll show you that as well. I'll add that to my little pile of things I'm going to do. Right, sorry, I've got a few more people that have joined. Hi Yvonne. Yeah, Tracy, they are perfect for eclipse cards as well. And morning Penny. This one I've coloured, and then I've added glossy accents. I'm going to bring this up again. So if you put that glossy accents on, it gives it like an enamelled look. So again, you're just making your letters much more of an embellishment than just a die, just die cut letters. This one I've stamped on, and then I've coloured around. I've left the stamps black and white, but I've coloured around my design. This one I've done with glitter paint. So I've die cut the letter and then covered it with the glitter paint. This one again, I've added little die cuts, little stamped images and cut them out. Can't think what to say. Oh, it was from my icons set, so there were dies that went with the little stamps as well. Unfortunately, they're no longer available. Then I've got this one now. This one's just glittery, so it's scratchy, but this one's glittery, but it's smooth. So this one I put glitter glue on, but then I covered it with glossy accents, and oh, that just, when you do that on a card, the shine that you get, it is just incredible. Absolutely fantastic to do. And that again is something I always forget. Morning Jill. I'm going to leave Tracy to explain what an eclipse card is, because I don't want to get it wrong. I think it's when you cut the words out, but I'm not sure. So I will leave, if Tracy could explain, please, what an eclipse card is. And Tracy, there's a thing, maybe that needs to be one of your next lives, maybe, possibly. Morning Vanessa. Not meaning to drop you in anything. Morning Sandy. I just think it's really good to see something like this, because there was a lot of work put into this, but it's just like, why is it sitting in my cupboard? And, I need to show people. So this one I've done background papers. So it's got a stripy background paper on it. And then I've stamped with a little flower on the top as well. This one I've done some double scribbled lines around the edge of it. So again, don't forget you can do things like, do Centangle on them. How fabulous would that look? Oh, thank you, Tracy. That's fab. There you go, Sam. Tracy will do one for her next live. Brilliant. Morning, Irene. Again, I've got stripy paper, but I've added some little flowers to it. This time I've decorated the letter with little stamps and then added little dots in between. This one is actually Hessian ribbon. So let me pick this up and see if the camera will really focus in on it. But this is actually Hessian ribbon. And it die cut it beautifully. So I did put it down with, I die cut self-adhesive sticky sheet first and put it on my letter, and then put the ribbon on and die cut it. And yeah, that's stopped it from fraying. So that's brilliant. And then you can add like glittery embellishments to your letters. Did this one with felt tips where I've just added all the different colours. So again, decorate them up as you want. It does mean that you can have whatever colours you've used in your inks maybe, or your pens for colouring. You can then have letters to be the same colours to match in perfectly. Okay, sorry, I want to keep aware, I want to be aware of the comments this morning and see if I can answer anything. I think my favourite is Y, but definitely going to use some of these ideas. Oh, excellent. Then I've got glitter cardstock. In fact, we should do that, shouldn't we? What's your favourite letter? How I've decorated it, I mean. This one I've heat embossed. So this is got embossing on it. It's actually, I won't say rubbed off, but it's always got a distressed look to it. And I think it's where it's been stored. Probably put something heavy on the top of it. This one has got mica sprays on the top of it, so it's very sparkly, but I don't think it's going to pick it up in the camera. I mean, this is beautifully embossed. And these actually, if you heat emboss them with metallic colours, they end up looking like metal embellishments on your cards. See, this is why when I was looking through the box of cards and the samples and everything, you saying you had never thought of these ideas, Catherine, that's exactly why it's so good to get things like this out and to share them, you know, and to make sure that people do realise there's all these different things you can do. Again, little pattern papers. This one I stamped the stars on but just left them plain, decorated up with a few die cuts. Don't forget as well, this is a really clever idea. If you get a very heavily patterned background and you can't actually see your letters or even your sentiments or anything that you put onto your cards, it's a really nice idea to double cut them and then offset them. Now I've offset this in white, but normally on a card I would quite often offset in black because I've got a white background, so then the black is what makes everything stand out a little bit more for you. But that's a really good idea. Emma Smith does this a lot, and she always backs up with glitter cardstock. So her letters might be plain, but she double cuts them and then just offsets it a tiny little bit, either to the left or to the right, doesn't matter. And then but puts the glitter card behind, and that really does lift them off and give them some impact. This is the Y. This is the one that, no, I've got to remember. That Sandy is her favourite. Oh, we're getting an eclipse description. Okay, I'll read that in a second so that I know. Brenda. Brenda, I know what you mean. Sometimes it just like, sometimes when my mojo's gone or whatever, and I just can't think what to do, I find a card that I've made before or somebody else's card that's inspired me and I copy it, and that way it's just like you haven't got to think, the design's been done, you know, it looks lovely, you like how it looks. So it's a really good thing to do, is to actually just copy another card, maybe change the colour, but yeah, do things like that, and then just gradually, don't be hard on yourself, gradually you'll find it again, I'm sure. Andrea's favourite letter is the B. Yeah, I like those little flowers. Yeah. Morning, Gemma. They're all lovely. Hang on, sorry, I keep missing. They're all lovely, but I do like the glitter and then the glossy. Yes, the glitter with the glossy on top, it does look lovely. And when you put it on a card, it's really got some impact as well. Okay, I'm going to very quickly read Tracy's An eclipse card is where you create a panel using your stamps, then use the alphabet dies to cut out a name or a word, and then put the letters back in using oh, okay, so it does like lift it off slightly. Oh, so it's a little bit like what I'm going to do today. I didn't know I was doing an eclipse card. You like the N best, yeah, with the little butterflies on. Excellent. Where have we got up to? So we got to the Y. This is with little leaves, and then we've had lots of stamps with little leaves. In fact, there's lots of Linda B Designs ones that would look lovely on the letters. Then I've got the Z just with a couple of die cut letters, and then just coloured the ampersand with dye-based ink pads. So that was my creative alphabet, which I'm glad I've shown and talked through, because just from your comments, you know, there are people who didn't know about different techniques that I've used and what have you. So that's really good. So let me bring in some inspiration. And I know that Hazel won't be watching at the moment. You like A and Z. Me like A to Z. Oh, bless you, Bev. I know Hazel isn't watching at the moment because she's got a workshop, but this is her card and her gift bag that she made a long, long time ago when this first came out. So that just goes to show we've still got our dictionary definitions as well, so they're still available. But how lovely is this? So Hazel's made a gift bag which she cut out the letters with love. She decorated the piece of card first, cut out her with love, and then she put the with love on a card. So these bits here have been decorated. Look, the L's got a bit of burgundy on, and then the O, V and E are the greeny colour going into yellow, and the same with the with. But how fabulous does that look? So by doing two things, and she's put acetate behind it as well, which is really lovely, obviously because it's a gift bag, she doesn't want her present to fall out. So I just thought that was so lovely. Yeah, I'm not sure who's going to Doncaster. I would think that Jo, maybe from Let's Create, she should be going. So this is another thing that you can do. So I've actually die cut this through my card, and it's not until the card is shut that you can actually like really read the message. But that's a really nice way. Obviously you don't get the middle of the A, but I didn't think it mattered too much. Actually, I could have put the leaf over a little bit more and then stuck it to the edge of the leaf. But I didn't think of that at the time. Another thing that you can do as well, this one, I've used the word that I created as a stencil. So this is flat on my card, and then I've just done the squiggly lines around the letters to pull out the word, but I've used them like a stencil. And then another one that Hazel did. So great if you want to do things like Father's Day cards, Mother's Day cards, add mum, dad, whatever you want to cards, birthday cards. But a great way to add names as well. And then these are all Hazel's. And then again, Hazel's used the tags. Now, with the alphabet, we do have a lowercase version. In fact, let me just get this out. So there is a lowercase version that matches with the uppercase. So you can mix and match them. And then we do also have a numbers and tags set as well. And these are the tags that Hazel has used for her letters. So they're the perfect size. We did two different sizes. So if you've got a skinny name, or you want to just put a number on a card, or you just got a single number, or you've got skinny letters, so you've got no M's or things like that, you can use the skinny tag. Or if you need a bigger tag, there is that bigger one in there as well. So they are also available. I wanted to just show you those because they do mix and match as well. So this one I've done out of glitter paper, added it to a stenciled inky background, and then used the birthday. That the wording comes in with the dictionary definitions, and then there is a die that will cut out the happy birthday as well, or you can use them on their own. Morning, Anne. Where can you buy these from? There is the list of stockists, which is on the website. Most people will have the alphabet because it's a bit of a stock item. So I will put a link in. When I finish the video, I will put a link. I'll have a quick scout around and see who actually has the alphabet set, and I will put a link to who's got it at the moment. And I wanted to show you that this is something that Hazel made again. She's used Fresh Florals flower stamp set, and she's mixed and matched in the upper and lower case of the alphabet. So it just shows that they work absolutely perfectly together. So if you like things having upper and lower, then that is available for you. If not, then the uppercase I always think is a really good one to start with, maybe. But I do think an alphabet set is just so good to have. I got this one out, I forgot, but this is the lowercase, but I will show it. So again, doing names, but I've actually used my dictionary definition. No, this was friendship. This was in the friendship stamp set. But then I've used the birthday wording and then die cut my words out of there. And then there's the sentiments I love. This is from the mandala set. So let me move these out of the way, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to make a card. So the this is the alphabet now is going to come turquoise, but anyone who already owns it will have, like me, a silver version. So bear with me a minute. Well, it would have been good if I'd have found the product that I want to use. There we go. Okay, so mine is a silver version, but because we've had them done again, they're now turquoise. So I went ahead, actually, let's put that back on there. I need to get to my die cutting machine. That would be good. I'm in the process of moving. Not house, I don't mean. I mean in my craft room again. Because Owen has now moved out, I'm going back up in his room. So I'm not sure if I got all the letters here, but I think so. Anyway, so there's bits of stuff everywhere. So I'm in a little bit of a mess. But anyway, right, okay. Let me just go back and see. Yes, Monica, I will put that list up. Can I just say how much in love my first play with your foilable is? They are so easy. I can't believe they used to scare me. Oh, that's fantastic, Samantha. Thank you. I am just so pleased that you are enjoying them. Are the other set the same size as these? Yvonne, I don't know what. I'm sorry. Yes, these are the same, exactly the same, if that's what you mean. So originally, the first set we had done in silver, I've restocked them, so I've got them in turquoise now. The other ones, if you wanted the numbers or the lower case, they will be in silver. And something I should have pointed out, with the lower case, it was somebody asking us, would we do extra letters? So you get doubles of some of the more popular letters. So you can do things like happy birthday in one pass. You can, there was a list of words that you can do. You can do baby in one pass. There was all sorts of things you could do. So this is why we gave you like 2 A's, 2 B's, E's, H, I, L, O, P, R, S. And you get a question mark, an exclamation mark, and a comma as well. And then with the numbers, you get all the numbers, and you get the ordinals as well, and you get your tags. So I hope that has answered your question, Yvonne. If I haven't, then please elaborate a bit more. It is so handy having those extra letters. I wish we'd done it with this one, but we didn't. So, right, okay. Let me bring my board out. So I wanted to do a card where I'm going to do 2 out of 1. So I've got a square card blank, and I've already gone ahead and stamped with Philippa's little stamps. I created a background sheet which I've coloured with my felt tip pens, so my clean colours, and I've added little gold dots to fill in the gaps in between, because when I die cut my letters I want to make sure there's pattern on everything. So I did an arrangement of stamps, and then I rotated my piece of card, and then I filled in the middle bits, the extra bits, and then I went round the edge. So it was really quite easy to create a piece of background paper for yourselves. Okay, Yvonne, I know what you're asking me now. Are they the same size as Sweet Pea? Right. So, Sweet Pea, let me get an A and hold it against. Yes, they are the same size as the Sweet Pea ones. So that gives you an idea. If you've got Sweet Pea, they are of a similar size with the alphabets. Let's do another one. Let's have an M. Yes, they are of a similar size to the Sweet Pea alphabet. So again, just a really nice size, whether you want to do cards or whether you want to turn it into a home decor project. Right, so what I'm going to do, and I don't know if I'm making an eclipse card without even knowing it, is I'm going to put happy across my card. So I'm going to die cut happy out of it. Now I knew this was, I thought that there was something funny about this set. There's no why. Okay, it's because I got the wrong one out. Whoops. Okay, I have a Y. Right, now obviously there's only one P, but I need to mark or leave a space for the P so I can do the Y. So I'm going to take an R, which is the same size as the P, but obviously got that extra piece, but I won't die cut it, but at least it means I can space out my words. Now I'm going to do this on my mat, and I'm going to show you a trick if I can remember it, because it's ages since I've used these. So we are going to take a piece of tape, and I used to do this with a bit stronger tape than this. I'm not sure where that roll of tape is now. Okay, we'll do it with the 3M tape. So you want to pull a piece of tape off that is longer than your word that you want to do. And I'm going to place it, whoops, on my board. I'm going to do it sticky side up, and I want to use the lines on my board. Actually, let me move it up a little bit to make sure it's in shot. And if my head's getting in the way, I do apologise. So I have the main piece of my tape is sticky side up, and I'm just sticking it down. So now it's holding that in place so that I can work on that. So I'm going to take the H. Now I'm going to put this, have to work this out. I'm going to put this down the right way up, obviously, and I'm going to use the top, that top line, to mark it. So I'm going to use this line here to get my letters straight. Going to leave a little bit of a gap between each letter. Oops. My other tape was a bit stronger. I used to use masking, like painter's tape. Right, I'm just going to put the R in there so I can place my Y where I want it to be. But then what I'm going to do, that's probably a bit too big a gap. Whoops. And this is the important bit. Take your time getting this bit right. That looks better. So now I can take the R away because I don't actually want the R. I want to put another, I can just die cut, put it back and die cut the P again. So now I'm going to take a piece of tape and pop that down. I'm going to do 2 pieces so that I can pick the letters up now that are nicely spaced, and I've got them ready to go onto my card, and then I can die cut those out. Okay, so everything's in place. So I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. Right, so I've just seen a couple of questions come up. Let me... Yes, I love the Sweet Pea alphabet as well. I'll use the Sweet Pea alphabet today. Perfect. Did you use a gold pen for the... I did. I used a hybrid gel grip from Pentel. But yeah, it's called a hybrid... I can't even bring it up on the light. The light's all funny. It's a hybrid gel grip pen, but it's a gold. But any gold pen, if you've got a gold pen, I'm sure will be fine. Okay, so now I can take my letters out carefully. I want them to stick still to my piece. So now I can take the P away. Any bits that you get from the middle of your letters, whoops, you need to keep those. So like I need the bit in the centre of the P, and definitely the bit in the centre of the A. Okay, so I've got my P. You can probably get your letters out without taking... Yeah, so we've got H, and then we can get our A. And again, just make sure you keep the little middle piece. And then we need another P, and let's just get my Y out, because I don't like die cutting with the letters still in again, because if they move at all, then they're not going to be right. So it's going to be the P is going to go there and the Y will go there. Then I'm going to put this down upside down. I'm going to use a bit of the tape to stick it in place. Oh, actually I need to do it, line them up with the top, and then I need to put the P back in place, and then I can line them back up here. Let's bring this back in, put the Y in and the A and the H to make sure that's all in line. And then what I'm going to do is lift this up, take my letters off, but knowing I've got the P exactly where I need it to be. So now I can die cut this one through my machine, and the P is going to come out in the right place, getting the right pattern from the pattern paper, so it's all going to follow on. So now my spacing is correct on my card. I need to take my tape off carefully. Even though it's removable, do take your time to take that off, because it's been through the die cutting machine and the pressure has pushed it down onto your card. So do take a little bit of time. If you pull it too quick, you run the risk of tearing, you know, like lifting a layer of your card off, which you obviously don't want. So just take your time to do it. Go on, last little bit. Yes. Okay, so again, we can get the P out. Got little holes, little release holes. So now we know that that's in the right place. We can get the rest of the centre of the P. We can take our P off and put that back. So I've put all my letters back so they're back in the right place, which is really important. I wouldn't throw the tape away because I will use that for something else. And I wouldn't throw that piece of tape away. I turn it over and stick it down so I can use that again. So now what I've got is my happy, which when I put it down you can't really see it. So I thought, I've got a lovely bit of shocking pink glitter card. How about if I put that behind? So now I'm going to really see my letters. I'll obviously need to put my P's and my A back in. But so that's what I thought I would do there. But I need a birthday still. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Simply Sentiment, so my birthday, my big birthday, and I'm going to die cut this from the front. So I'm going to use these two bits of tape. So I've got my happy. Now just make sure left a little bit of room, but I've lined it up. Actually come back a little bit more. I'm happy with the way that it's out from the H and from the Y. So when you're happy with where it's positioned, just tape it down. And again, we'll just die cut that straight from our card. Oh, you're all saying I've frozen. Okay. All right, I'm going to carry on and hope that it's all still. If anyone could send me a little star, that would be a little heart, or a thumbs up, that would be great. It's okay now. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Tracy. I don't know what happened there then. Okay, so again, with our word, all the bits that come out, keep, because those are the bits that are going to make sense of both words, because I've got it, the words for both cards. So I'm going to put those up there because these all came out of birthday. And then using my tool, just release a few pieces so I know it's going to come off all right. And then ease that out. And just look how pretty it's going to look. I'm so glad I did the dots, because it does really matter in the overall card. So now this is going to look fab with my bit of glitter card behind. And I have got enough, which is perfect. So let me get rid, there's another piece there, of that. And I'm going to pop my birthday away. and I am just going to carefully chop my piece now. So if I cut off this little bit here, get rid of that, make sure I've got enough that's going to cover my, oh, is it going to do it now? I do hope I haven't just chopped it too small. No, phew. Okay, so I don't need it. I can chop off about an inch, about there. Okay, so for the first card, what I need to do is I need to get some glue all over the back around my wording. I haven't cut the bit of glitter card big enough for the whole piece of card because it's a waste, and I was using up a bit I had left, but I need to make sure I've got glue all down the bits of card that go down the middle of any of the letters so that it's going to stick down, and it won't like sticking to the glitter very much either. So just a word of warning about that. We could have put foam pads on the back of here, and then that would have lifted it all slightly. Make sure I've got enough so that all my, around the edges of my letters are covered. Oh, I knew it wasn't going to stick at all. Okay, I need to get it back in a similar place. It's fallen off because it doesn't like glitter card. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I need something heavy for that. So let me just put my stamping press on it for a minute and just let that settle a minute and hope that that starts to stick. Because where I've moved it, I've got sticky fingers now. Okay, let me see what, right. If you would put those letters back in the original panel on foam pads, that would be an eclipse card. Okay, right. So, what a pity it's frozen. Every time I go in and out, it just, oh. I am sorry, Rachel. I hope when you catch up, it's all okay. Right, so we've started to get this to stick now, which is perfect. Yeah, so what Tracy was saying was, instead of adding the glitter, if I'd have put foam pads on these and added these back into the original card, that would be an eclipse card. But I want to make another card with those letters. But what I need to do so that these make sense is I need to put the middles back in my letters. So I'm going to put the centre of my B in, and I know that that's that one because it's got a bit of the leaf. And you're just going to do this so that the letters look right. And then we've got a bit of the D, which I believe was this bit. Whoops. What you can do is you can always put this piece back in and see, oh look, I'm well out on that one, aren't I? Let's move it over so you can see where the piece really belongs. Okay, let's put this piece in, and I'm going to be lucky if this is going to stick because of the glitter card. You just have to persevere. Right, and then we've got that bit first. And the trouble is as well, you mustn't leave this for too long with the letters in the right place because, whoops, it ends up sticking back together and you won't be able to get it out. And then I've got this little bit here, which must be that bit. So what I tend to do is with my pokey tool, Yeah, they've stuck in the actual letter rather than onto the card because it is glitter card. Let me get my craft knife as well. Okay, so that's lifted that one up. And we've got that in the right place. Got that in the right place. Okay, so we've got 3 bits in the right place. Let's get the D, the centre of the D out. Right. So we've got our birthday is looking like birthday. So now we need to do the A. So a little bit of glue for that. And the centre of our A, which I usually pick up with my pokey tool and pop in. And then you can remove that bit and I can see where to go because of all the glue. And then the same with the P. So make sure you put the right pattern and up the right way. So I know I've got a little tiny bit of the blue on that one. So when if you do this and you use Philippa's designs to create your own little bit of background paper, make sure you do things quite close, or like I did when I added the little gold dots, so that you do have a bit of pattern even on the little tiny bits, because you don't know where these bits that we're now placing down are going to come out, but you need some pattern on there so it all fills in. But how fab does that look? Look, it just looks lovely on that glitter. Absolutely beautiful. So now we've got the other words, so we can do a second card. But let's finish this one first. We're going to put this one onto a square card. I'm going to put this on with foam pads actually. So I've got some of the lovely big foam pads, so we'll use these. I will get organised because Philippa has got me using cardboard like she does for her foam pads, and it is really good. I just need to sit and cut up some. It's a good way of getting rid of all the cardboard, and it also gives a really nice finish to your cards as well. Doesn't add a lot of weight because it's quite light, but it gives a really nice firmness all around, like rather than it being just patches of foam pads like this. I could have done a sheet of cardboard that was slightly smaller than my square, and it would have given me all over support, if you like. Okay, so make sure I got my card up the right way, and I'd already cut this down in size, so I know I've got a nice border around the edge. I was lucky I could save that. Oh, just how lovely does that look? I love it. It's just being reminded of how lovely they are to work with. And what I could have done was, before I actually stuck this down, was used the outline to line this up. But we'll get round that. We'll get round that. So card number 1. So now I think I'm just going to do, does it fit? Let's find out. Yes, it will fit. So I'm going to do a long skinny card. So this is a 30 by 10.5, and I'm going to do it as a landscape card. So I've got my birthday and I've got my happy. Now I think what I'm going to do before I actually pop this down is I'm just going to add a little bit of inking around the edge of my letters. I haven't re-inked this. This is just ink that's on my sponge already, but this will just help. Just see that really soft bit of pink will just lift my letters off of the white. Oh, I've just thought something else I could add to the background as well, which I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little bit of stenciling in the background, I think. I do like adding a bit of colour with my sponges like this around the edge of my letters, because it clears off as well. It's got little bits here, but it takes off any excess bits of card when you've die cut it. So you know those little bits you get from the die cutting machine sometimes, it gets rid of those just by putting that little bit of ink around the edge. So it's going to be really soft and subtle. I don't want to re-ink because then I'm going to suddenly have some heavy colour, which I don't want. So I'm just using my fingers to support the letters, try and get a little bit in the middles, just so it's going to make sense with the letters. But remember, it is a little bit delicate. So I'm going to move these out of the way again now, because I'm going to get a stencil. I think I'm going to use my favourite background one ever. I just love this stencil. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of my diamonds, and I've just got some pink or some red or something on here which I know is going to work. So I'm just going to come across my card randomly, lining these up so that I've got a little bit of interest in the background. I tell you what else would be nice as well, would be a bit of embossing, like through an embossing folder, just so you've got that little bit of pattern and interest going on in your background. Just need a little bit up here. So it just takes the starkness away, if you like, and just that little softness of pattern. So that little bit of interest. And then I'm going to put my birthday on first of all. So I'm going to stick this down. And I'm going to use glue in all the bits of the letter. So we'll get that on. And I'm going to place this towards the bottom, and I always go towards the right. I don't want to centre it, so I'm just going to use the bottom corner, make sure I've got everything straight. Whoops. Go along a letter at a time till you're happy. Or it would look nice with glossy accents on it as well. In fact, let's do that to the happy. I have used felt tip pens, so you need to be a little bit careful that the pens don't run, because they are water based. Shall we do it then? Not sure now. Okay, so I'm going to use my foam strips, and I absolutely love these for the letters because they are the perfect sizing to add to my letters without having to trim them down or anything, gunk my scissors up. Just literally, I use the wider one, and that fits the width of the letters. Like I say, absolutely perfect. I also like using the skinny ones because they actually go around. So I'll show you with the P. Just need a little tiny bit off that one. So if I use one of the skinnier ones, I can actually pop it down and shape it when I've got like circly bits on my letters, or when it's shaped and not just straight. Oh, took the backing paper off. So I can use it. The thin ones are fine as well, so it doesn't matter if it's thick or thin, to be honest. But the thick ones are the perfect sizing, and then the thin ones are just fabulous if you've got any letters that are shaped. Right, so you can even do the Y, and then we just need a little tiny bit for the other bit up there. Okay, so then I would, when I put letters on, I always, because I tend to go to like work from the right hand side, or want my word to end up being lined up on the right. Now, whether that's because I'm left-handed or not, I don't know. Right, I'm going to give you another tip as well. If you have, let me just grab one, sorry. If you have a set square ruler, or a T-square ruler, not set square. If you have a T-square ruler, it's really handy to have it on here, and you can line the bottom of your letters up. Now I come down a little bit. Because these are all capitals, you know it's going to be okay. Let's get this P down. Oh no, I've got to do them in the right order, haven't I? So I think I need to have a look at the right. So it went H, A, P, P. So it's this P is next. I want to get my pattern right going across my paper. Oops. Right, and sorry, I am ignoring the questions or any comments. I will go back and check in just a second. I'm very aware that Philippa's not with us this morning. She'd totally forgotten that it's her shopping day today. She was like, see you in the morning. And then it's like, oh no, I've forgotten. It's shopping on Thursdays. So I know that Philippa always watches and helps out with any questions. I'm sure I know Tracy's been answering questions. So, okay, so just pop these down. And then the H as well. So I like my words like to be right. I'm going to do my typing now. Right, justified. That's what makes me happy. I like my words to the right. If you like them centered, center it. It is entirely up to you. I have room here. I did have, for so long on my desk, I have had a couple of Philippa's flowers coloured. Coloured and cut out. Look at that. I could put one up there, couldn't I? Oh, that would look nice. Perfect. See, I knew I'd kept them for a reason. I don't know how many times, they're not quite the same colour, but I don't think it'll show. I think it'll be fine. In fact, okay, I'm going to really cheat now. Okay, so these have been coloured with ink pads as opposed to the flowers. Let's put them like that. The flowers on here have been coloured with my clean colour. So I'm just going to add in a little bit of the pink that I actually used on my background paper, and a little bit of the green. So I'm just cheating to make sure it matches in a bit more with what I've done, and then I'll do the same, add in a little bit of the felt tip. So that was a real save, wasn't it? And also it's really good because it's really nice to have that little focal point of the flower up in that corner. Okay, So I am going to put glossy accents on it, because if it bleeds, does it really matter? But it'd be good to know if it is going to bleed. So I've just treated myself to a new bottle of glossy accents. So with this, you tip up and you squeeze very gently, but already it's got a nice block up. Right. So as soon as it starts to come out, it will come out. Okay. So now I just use the nozzle. It's almost like a gravity thing and you barely need to squeeze. So I'm just going to go all over my letters, making sure if I get any that have air bubbles or anything like that, just use the nozzle to get rid of them, or you might need a pin sometimes if you can't get rid of it properly. And I'm just literally, I'm not even really squeezing, it's just the gravity of the glossy accents coming out and using the nozzle just to scribble and move it around, making sure that all the letters are covered. Now I'm only going to do the happy because the birthday is glued to my card, whereas the happy is on foam pad, so it's raised up. And so it's much easier. I really want to do the birthday. No, I'm going to do the birthday. I'm going to go for it. So this, you need to be a bit more careful. I've just turned it around so I've got the light better for me, so I can see where I'm going. But don't beat yourself up too much if you go over the edge. At the end of the day, the person you're giving it to will be thrilled that you took the time to make them a card. If it's not absolutely perfect, I'm sure they won't hold it against you. No one's ever held it against me. And there's been plenty of not perfect cards. Okay, almost there. When you're doing this, just take your time. I'm going to swing it round just so that I can see the other end of the Y, especially as that's got the really thin bits on it. I'm really pleased with how the little gold dots looked on the background paper as well that I created. Now that just looks, oh my goodness. Oh, I wish you could see how lovely that looked. When it's dry, I'll be able to hold it up and show you a lot better. So when it's dry, I will take a better photo. But it just needs a little bit of glitter glue on those flowers, so you've got some sparkle there. And then I will bring in fact, let me get rid of my board because that's horrible on the light. So I have created 2 cards from one set of die cuts. So I've used Philippa's stamps. I've used the Uppercase background alphabet set. I used my birthday die, so where you get the outline as well, but I've just used the birthday, and I used my stencil, my background stencil, and Philippa's stamps. So I hope you enjoyed that. I am just going to cut, I wanted to show you this funky foam, didn't I? So I want to cut something out of the alphabet. So I just don't want to spoil those. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, actually that would be really good, wouldn't it? Leave me a comment on this video if you want to be included in a draw, and I will draw one person who leaves me a comment who will win the cards. So they'll win both cards, but they will also win an alphabet set. So leave me a comment if you would like to be in with a chance of winning both the cards and a set of dies as well. And I will pick somebody. I will give it until after the weekend, so we give people a chance to catch up. Yeah, so just say you'd like to be put in the draw, and we will do that. So I'm going to die cut something out of this foam because I want to show you how brilliantly it cuts. So I think I'm going to do happy again. So I don't have to worry. In fact, let me bring my board in. So I'm going to put this down. I'm going to put happy down on my... Why is it going the wrong way? I don't know. Maybe they're all going the wrong way and I just don't realise. Okay. Oh, if I leave a gap, then I can pop. I could put the P back in and then I can make 2 cards again, can't I? But I just want to show you how beautifully it cuts out. And that's giving you all a chance to say, I want to be in the draw. I want to be in the draw. Okay, so right, so just look how lovely, and it's dimensional, it's foam, it's like, it's glittery, but it's like funky foam, and I've decorated it up with alcohol inks. So I just need the P this time. Oh, it's not round the right way anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's because I didn't put it, I put the letters, I know what I did wrong now. Right, I'm going to tell you what I did wrong. So I put the letters, because I'm using this cut side up on my mat, and then I put the letters. Did I? I didn't do that. Did I? Yeah, I did. Did I cover it that way? Oh, well, I can't use them together now anyway. I'm trying to think what I did. I'll have to watch the video back. I can't remember if I put white side up or green side up. I think I put white side up. That's why, because I did it up the wrong way. That's why the P's going the wrong way. Never mind. I know what I mean if nobody else does. Okay, so here is my P. Now my P is going the right way. Just the word isn't. It's back to front. But there you go. There's my lovely dimensional foam letters, which is really fab to do. I hope I sold that well. It doesn't feel like it. Right, bear with me a minute. I just want to move this one out of the way because I'm very worried about that getting spoiled. So I want to bring my computer back down so I can look at any comments. And I just want to flip the camera, so bear with me. Okay, so let's have a really quick look. Where'd I got up to? Right. You could always heat emboss. Yes, you could heat emboss with clear. That would look lovely. If you don't have glossy accents, put in a clear ink pad over the top and then, sorry, an embossing ink pad over the top and then clear embossing powder. That is a lovely way to add that glossy look to it as well. And that also won't affect your pens or any ink pads that you've used with a water brush because it wouldn't react with it. Okay, so, oh, there's lots of comments. Okay, got to there. Okay, it's beautiful, thank you. I put a little glue on pads. Yep, it does give you some wiggle room. That's a really good idea. Another lefty, absolutely. I think your H is up the wrong way looking at the pattern. Oh, really? On my card? Oh, it might be. Oh, never mind. Yes, it is, isn't it? It is up the wrong way. Well spotted, Andrea. You're right. I'm not sure I have, Yvonne, either. I love glossy accents, and I hadn't had a bottle for a while, so yep. All you need to do is add "I'd love to be in the draw" to this actual video. So this is where you need to comment, Monica. Oh, thank you. Okay. Hang on, I saw something. Put the die on the white. Yes, that's what I did wrong. You're right, Bev. I put it the wrong side up. Yeah, Ruth, all the oldies are the best. Done it before, but need to look up any samples you might have kept. Definitely. It'd be really interesting to see them. Share them in the Crafty Friends as well. You are more than welcome for the demo. Hopefully, I will be back next Thursday. Obviously, it depends if things happen and I can't. But yes, just leave me a comment that you'd like to be in the draw, and I will announce the winner. We'll announce the winner on Monday. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed that, and I will dig through some more old samples and get those out and share those with you. And I will do a little post about the cards, and I'm going to put a link into where people can find the alphabet set as well. So give me about half an hour and I'll go and have a scoot round and find who's got them in stock. And yeah, I will see you again soon. Have a lovely rest of the day. Thanks, ladies. Bye.